Good day, everybody. Well, you should be kind of raving about our show today. I sense a spectacular sort of a day. There's not a hint involved in that. It's just the way we do things around here. Nothing ordinary for us. Once again, we've managed to find two extraordinarily and internationally known people to occupy our chair to be hidden from sight and sound, from from our panel. Our gifted psychic panel, who in their own skills will tell all and maybe astound our visitors. I'm sure they will. First of all, the incredible and rolling astrologer, Jeff Gray Cobb. That was a big smile from Jeff today. I think he's especially confident. And so might our very, very gifted psychic graphologist, Marilyn Rossner.
Hi.
Ah, that's nice. A nice, calm, bemused hi. Two of our three panelists sealed in their isolation booth so that we may now introduce our amethyst-bejeweled clairvoyant, Irene Hughes. Who, in her own way, is spectacularly gifted in divining some impressions and vibrations from objects taken from our guest. Well, they're given to Irene, astounding things about their personal and professional lives. We'll show you how it all works as we get set to meet our first visitor. The panel is sealed away. Alan, who is in our chair first?
This man is the friend and creator of Spider-Man, the Incredible Hulk, and many other klutzy superheroes. Cartoonist and comic book publisher, Stan Lee.
All right, it's to work now for our panel. We'll raise the door, first of all, on astrology. We have all of the birth data of our guest before Jeff, and from that, he's going to tell all.
Or tell some. This gentleman has the sun in Capricorn and the moon in Taurus. You are strong and healthy, is that correct?
Oh, I'd like to think so.
You have a genius for impressing people. You get their admiration by keeping the common touch.
Well, I won't deny it.
Mars suggests you have a scientific mind.
No, I don't think so.
Really? I've got here a Jupiter, good education to university level and above.
No, high school graduate.
Well, you use figures in your work.
Mm-hmm. Some.
Okay.
Are you speaking of numerical figures, Jeff?
Yeah, I was meaning figures off a printed page.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry,
no,
okay, yeah, gotcha. And Moon in Taurus says public speaking or broadcasting forms part of your career.
Yes, it does.
There's a retentive memory.
Not really too much, no.
Well, let's go the other way on that one. Say you're very much concerned somehow with cause and effect. There's nothing wishy-washy about your reasoning.
I think you're right.
Jupiter in Scorpio says you think big, but you are prepared to dirty your hands and clean things up if you have to.
Right on.
There's some of the historian in you, says Capricorn.
Okay.
And Mars in Pisces says you're interested in what atomic science is doing to us at the moment.
Yeah.
Now, these figures you work with, I see you seem to be transferring figures onto other pieces of paper in order to make charts.
Well, I don't want to throw you off. Figures are a little bit of it, but they're really not mainly what I do.
You're very kind.
Okay, I was going to throw in one hint, but I don't think Jeff really needs it. We'll consult Marilyn now, who consults the handwriting of our guest and is prepared to reveal all.
Okay, you're terrible at saving money.
You're a genius.
You are extremely secretive about yourself.
Perhaps, yeah.
You're considered avant-garde.
Well, I'd like to think so.
Good. Your philosophy in life is definitely live and let live.
Uh-huh.
You are involved in some very controversial issues.
Usually?
You know somebody by the name of Barry.
Yeah.
Somebody by the name of Richard.
Uh-huh.
You are involved with young people. Do you understand this? You're influential with young college people.
Yeah.
The New York area would be significant to you.
Mm-hmm.
Canada would be your home.
Second home.
Okay, you believe in rights for people.
Yes.
You are interested in law, justice, and order.
And who isn't?
But that means something.
The government is very interested in what you do.
Oh, gosh, that's scary.
Is it?
Not particularly, I don't think so.
Okay, you have a particular spiritual kind of affiliation.
No, I don't think so.
No, you check details very carefully.
Uh-huh.
You have done some writing.
Oh, yes.
You collect files. I'm looking at filing cabinets.
Yeah.
And I also feel that you check out what people do.
Much as I can.
Good.
Good. That's a good note to end on. All right, Irene Hughes, you have something of our guests in your hand, and what is it telling to you?
Did you have a great deal to do with sports?
No, not really too much.
And did you do a lot of flying?
As a passenger.
Also, do you make out special reports on people?
No more than anybody else.
Well, it feels to me like that is one of your jobs.
No, not really.
For the health and welfare of a certain group of people.
No.
Did you ice skate at one time?
Oh, very slightly.
Because your watch tells me all about sports, so there must be somebody in your life then that's very much involved in sports.
Well, I have some friends who are.
And I feel that maybe you do a lot of writing in that area.
No,
or a lot of writing.
Yes, but not really sports.
All right, a lot of writing.
Yes.
And I have the feeling that perhaps you belong to, say, a United Press International group or...
In a way.
Associated Press. In other words, a journalist, an international journalist.
In a way, yes.
Publishing is very much there, Irene. I wouldn't want you to get the wrong idea, but go with your wildest hunches
all right,
here.
and I feel like perhaps he has written a particular book on a certain country or a certain activities in certain countries?
No, not really countries.
Of the world, then, okay. You're being a little stingy, but anyway, I think it's a special
I don't want to throw you off there.
And I feel that it may be political in nature to a certain extent.
No, you...
Not political in the real worldly sense. You're really kind of all around there, and I think she'll think about it for a moment, visitor. In fact, all of our panelists are doing so. The doors are down, and we'll want to award some extra points here if they can zero in on this particular field of expertise that you're involved in. All right, let's consult Jeff first. He consults his chart, and he's smiling.
I'm only smiling because I've done a flip around about the figures. I think this gentleman is a multimillionaire who has a talent for making money, and it's Hugh Hefner.
I sort of wish I were, but...
Boy, you were getting close there in a certain way. You know, you'll understand this later. I'm going to give you 11 points for that, Jeff, but that's the limit of my generosity.
Well, thank you.
I can be generous with you, Marilyn, if you can tell me who we have in our chair or his special field of expertise.
Well, he surely is special. I'll tell you what I sense. I sense that he is a kind of a publisher who publishes things about people, because I'm looking at these different it's like facts, and he's a facts and figures person. That's what I would say.
What kind of people? No help.
Well,
huh?
maybe dead people. I don't know, but people. In other words, what they do.
Sure. I got you.
In other words, what they do and what they've done in life, and how this will affect what other people can do in life.
Hold on to your energy there. No. Give you 8 points for that as far as you've gone in terms of the field of publishing. Now we're going to consult with Irene, and I have 20 points here if you can zero in on the field of expertise here. Or
well, I think that you're the owner and the publisher of a paper.
A press of some kind he's very much involved with, yes.
And actually, I feel that it might be a world record book.
Well, they sell really record-breaking numbers. I'm going to give you 10 points for that, Irene, and get you to meet now a man who's had a profound effect on college kids all over the world. Here's the man who's created all of the superheroes of our day. Here is Stan Lee of Marvel Comics.
Hello.
They were close and they were all around.
You're right, they were all around.
And you didn't make it too helpful for them. That's fine, too. Let's deal with a couple of things that they've said, Mr. Lee, and then proceed on with the great, spectacular world of superheroes. Barry and Richard were mentioned by Marilyn.
Well, we have an artist named Barry Smith who has worked with us, and my daughter has a very good friend named Richard, and we have an editor named Richard, so that's right on.
All right. Now, in their own ways, you know, figures, in comic books, nothing demeaning about that term, is it?
Not to me, certainly.
No. In comic books, the heroes, the people who participate, unless they are real villains, all have spectacular figures.
Well, I thought that numbers were meant, but certainly our books are replete with figures of characters.
But isn't it so? I remember from my own youth that your first lessons in anatomy, in a sense, were from, or from, you know, Michelangelo type of build. The heroes, the women, all were just wonderfully idealized.
They were bigger than life and more glamorous than normal people.
By design, I gather.
Absolutely.
And
Right.
what is the reasoning?
Well, that's what really interests the young reader. That's why they prefer superheroes as such to heroes. And it's not just comic book readers, but everybody. Most children, when they're young, they relate to Robin Hood. They relate to Ulysses. They relate to the characters Tarzan, who are bigger than life, you know? And I think we're all looking for somebody or something that's better than we are, that we can emulate and admire and
Certainly.
hopefully attain to someday.
Show me your heroes, and we'll tell you very much about what you're like and what
Right.
your hopes and dreams are. In your own way, you have very much influenced the concept of the superhero today. He is not completely perfect, as I understand it, Mr. Lee.
Well, we've tried to humanize them. We've tried to say, suppose somebody could have superhero powers, how would he react in the real world? Actually, I think you should know that as well as anybody, because you used to do the voice of Spider-Man in the old Spider-Man cartoons, Paul, didn't you?
Wallop and web snappers, I can't deny it. My spidey senses are telling me you're right, Mr. Lee.
And you were great at it.
It was a great romp, and I've never failed to be astonished at the popularity of them. In fact, is Spider-Man not among the top heroes of the day?
Spider-Man is the best-selling comic book hero in the world today. And
More so than Superman.
Yeah, he outsells Superman.
How do you account for that?
I think it's because he's more human. The readers can relate to him. I mean, Spider-Man can worry about dandruff or an allergy attack or tearing his costume, or he wants to go out and save the world from a villain, but he can't do it because his Aunt May says it's raining and you're not wearing your galoshes. And I think readers can kind of empathize with him.
Maybe it's that kind of a little Achilles heel that is the ultimate appeal to people.
Right.
They want their superheroes, but they want them to be credible, too. Our time is gone, Stanley, but it's been such a treat to have you here. I hope you've had a good time.
I enjoyed it.
On our panel, on everyone's behalf, thank you for creating the heroes of today. Mind boggles to think what they'll be 10 years hence, but I'm sure you'll have a hand in it.
We'll be trying.
Good. Stanley, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.